to our lesson 3 and our final revision. So we continue with topic number 5, which is calculus. We are going to go through a lot of questions under calculus. So if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you know someone who wants tuition in mathematics, science, you can give them my line, which is +26097106667. 0971066747. You can give them my line so that I start preparing them for the exams, be it GCE or internal. Okay, so this is our first question, which is saying the equation of the curve is y is equal to x cubed minus 3 over 2x squared. Find first question, which is the equation of the normal and tangent where x is equal to 2. So we want to find the equation of the normal and tangent. So how do you find the equation of the normal and tangent? You get the equation which is given. Y is equal to x cubed minus 3 over 2x squared, like this. What do? You differentiate. The first thing is to differentiate. You say dy dx is equal to, you are going to differentiate. So let's differentiate. How do we differentiate? So we use the formula which is nax power n minus 1. This is the formula that we get to use whenever we want to differentiate. So this is the formula that we use when we want to differentiate. Where n, if you don't know what n is the power. We've got a is our coefficient, so that is our coefficient. A is our coefficient, then x is our variable. In this case we've got x, so that is our variable. So what happens is that, have you seen what is happening here? The power is being multiplied by the coefficient. This is what you need to do. Then from the power you say minus 1. This is what we'll be doing. So these are things that you need to know. These are terms that you need to understand. So what is happening is this. You are saying that this one times the one which is here. So we are saying 3 times 1 there. You say x. Then the power which is 3, you say minus 1. This is what you're going to do. So you continue, you say minus. What is the power there? 2. Times the coefficient is 3 over 2, like that. Then the power x, you say 2 minus 1. These are the procedures that you are going to do. So let's make sure we understand this, we get the point. So the first thing is to differentiate. So hence whenever you are told to find the equation of the normal or the equation of the tangent, the first thing is to differentiate the equation given. So I continue, dy dx is equal to, so I continue. Here I'm going to have 3 times 1, it is 3. I say x to the power what? To the power 2 minus, this is what I'm going to do. If I multiply here, these two are going to cancel out. So I'm going to have 3x then power 1. So that one will just maintain like that. So this is what I've come up with. After differentiating, this is what I've come up with. Then I say m is equal to, what is the gradient? What is your gradient? So this one, dy dx is the gradient. You just say m. So this one, it is also called the gradient function. This is the other name. It is also called gradient what? Gradient function. We call that as the gradient function. So we are given where x is equal to 2. X is equal to what? X is equal to 2. So where there is x, I put 2. So I say 3, I say 2 squared minus 3, then I put a 2. This is what I'm going to do. So I've told you that this is the gradient function. This is the gradient function. So we substitute, we say m is equal to, here what are we having there? This is 4. 2 squared is 4. Times 3, it is 12. Minus, what is 3 times 2? 6. Then finally, what is your answer? 6 as your answer. So this is your answer as your gradient. So your gradient is what? Your gradient is 6. So this gradient that you found, so you know, okay, you can find the equation of the tangent with the first gradient. So you can find the equation of the tangent to the first gradient. So okay, I've got this. You ask yourself, from the coordinate, how many values do you have? So you see, x you've got 2. What about y? Y you don't have. It's now to calculate y. You calculate the value of what? The value of y. You get the equation. Original equation is y is equal to x cubed minus 3 over 2 x squared, like that. So we find the value of what? Y. Say y is equal to x. Where there is x, you put 2 here, which was given in the question. So in the question we were given that x is 2. So we put 2 there. So I say 2 cubed minus 3 over 2, then 2 squared, like this. Where I will say this is now equal to, here it's 8. 2 to the power 3, it is 8. Minus. So 2 squared is 4. 4 divided by 2, it's 2. Have you seen? 2. So this is what is happening. This one, I'm going to get what? This one is 4. 4 times 3, it is 12. 12 over 2. 12 over 2 is what? 6. So here I've got a 6. So if I substitute there, what am I going to have? I'm going to have 2. So y is also 2. So I put a 2 there. This is what I need to have. You found the coordinate, you lab here. So I'm going to lab this part. I'll wrap this part like this. So that's my coordinate, 2, 2. And the gradient is here. I've told you that with the first gradient, to this gradient, you can find the equation of the tangent. So you just say y minus y1 is equal to m, this x minus x1, like this. You write something like this. So you say y minus y1, this is x1, this is y1. So y1 it is 2, which is equal to gradient 6, open bracket, x1 2. You do this. So this is the y, the 2 goes that side, is equal to, what do you get here? 6x when you multiply, minus 6 times 2, 12. When this one comes this side, it is plus 2. Plus 2, like that. That's what you're going to have. Then you say y is equal to 6x minus, what are you having here? Different signs, you subtract, they maintain the sign of a bigger number. So that is a 10. Negative 10. So this one here, this is what we are calling the equation of the tangent. So this one is called equation of the what? Tangent. Equation of the tangent. So it is called the equation of the tangent. You've answered the first one. So this is the equation of the what? Tangent. That's how you need to answer that one. We move to the next one. So let me lab this part. Hope you've seen the equation of the tangent. That's how you need to answer it. Let's go to the equation of the normal. How do you answer the equation of the normal? So the equation of the normal and the equation of the tangent, they are perpendicular to each other, meaning they make a 90 degrees angle. So what you need to say is a coordinate, keep a coordinate. We add a coordinate 2, 2. This one will be used. So m1 times m2, gradient 1 times gradient 2, we get negative 1. So gradient 1 we have, which is 6. So m2 is equal to negative 1. You divide both sides by 6. You also divide both sides by 6. Why you say m2 is now equal to this cancelled. m2 is negative 1 over 6. So meaning this is the gradient now that you are going to use for the equation of the normal. So this is the gradient that you are going to use for the equation of the normal. Hope you've seen the difference between the equation of the tangent and the equation of the normal. So this is what we need to do. This is what we need to get and understand. So this is the equation of the normal that we are going. This is the gradient for the equation of the normal that we are going to use. So from here you know that it's negative 1 over 6. So I do this because of space. So I know that the gradient 2 that I'm going to use is negative 1 over 6. So I write the equation. I say y minus y1 is equal to m open bracket x minus x1. This is what I'm going to do. I say y minus, what is my y1? 2, which is equal to, what is, so this one is x1, y1. They are going to maintain. So what is my gradient? Negative 1 over 6. X minus, what is my x1? It is 2. Then I start substituting now. I say this is y. 2 come this other side minus. If I multiply negative 1 over 6 times x, negative 1 over 6 x. Negative times negative, it's positive 2 over what? Over 6. This one, when it comes inside, it's plus what? Plus 2. Then I say y is equal to negative 1 over 6x plus. So if I add there, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? What will be my answer? So you work out that one on a separate paper, If you want, you can use a calculator. So you can just use a calculator with that one. So let me lab this part now. This is now not important. So it is 2 over 6 plus 2 over 1. What's the lowest common denominator there? So the lowest common denominator there is 6. 6 into 6, 1. 1 times 2, it is 2 plus 1 into 6, it is 6. 6 times 2, it is 12, which is equal to 14 over 6. 2 there, it is 7. 2 there, it is 3. So the answer is what? Plus 7 over 3. This is what I'm going to do. So it's what? 7 over 3. This is the answer that I'm going to get. So this is your answer. This is the equation of the what? Normal. So this is now the equation of the normal. So you've answered the equation of the normal and tangent. Hope you've seen the difference on how to find the equation of the normal and how to find the equation of the tangent. This is what you need to do. Let's move to the next question. Let's move to the next question now. Our second question now, where we are told to find the coordinates of the stationary points. So how can we find the coordinates of the stationary points? So finding the coordinates of the stationary points, you need to differentiate that one. And we already differentiated. It was dy dx. The answer was what? 3x squared minus what? Minus 3x. This is how it was. So whenever you are taught to find the coordinates of the stationary point and the gradient is not given, meaning dy dx is 0. So just need to equate this one to 0. Say 3x squared minus 3x, you equate it to what? You equate it to 0. This is what you need to do. Then you solve this equation. So don't forget, we want to find coordinates of the stationary points. You equate to what? 0. Then you solve this equation. How are you going to solve this equation? How are you going to solve it? You say this is what? You factorize here. Which one is common? 3x. 3x like that. Open bracket. Here you are going to run with x minus 1 there, which is equal to 0. Have you seen like this? You solve the equation. So you say 3x is equal to 0, or x minus 1 is equal to what? Is equal to 0. This is what you are going to do. So if you solve this one, over 3 here, over 3 here. So which means that x will be equal to what? 0. Or if you solve this one, will be x is equal to 0 plus 1. Meaning x will be equal to what? Will be equal to 1. So these are the two answers that you found. So which means that you are taught to find the coordinate. From a coordinate, you already have 0, what? You don't know. Here you already have 1, what? You don't know. Which means that you get the original equation, then put 0, so that you find a partner to this one. So you see, what is the original equation? Original equation is what? So you are going to say when x is equal to 0, this is what you're going to say. The original equation is y is equal to x cubed minus 3 over 2x squared. This is what you are given. So where x is 0, so 0 cubed minus 3 over 2 multiplied by 0 squared. Everything here will mount to 0. Have you seen? So it means also y is what? 0. So here you find the partner. The partner to this one is what? Is 0. So you found one coordinate. You go to this one. You say when x is what? X is 1. So when x, here you found the coordinate 0, 0. So 1 there. X is 1. So if x is 1, you get the original equation. What's the original equation? That's the original equation. Where there is x, put 1. So that is what? Y is equal to 1 cubed minus 3 over 2, then 1 squared, which is equal to, you are going to get 1 cubed is 1 minus here it's 3 over 2. This is what you are going to have. So what is your answer now? What is 1 minus 3 over 2? What is 1 minus 3 over 2? So you calculate that one. How are you going to calculate? On a separate paper. So we already found the answer to that one, so I can love that. So we already found the answer to that one. So how can we answer that one? So we are saying 1 minus 3 over 2 over 1. Common denominator there, it is 2, like this. This is what we need to do. What is 1 into 2? It is 2. 2 times 1, it is 2. Minus, what is 2 into 2? It is 1. 1 times 3, it is what? It is 3, which is equal to, here you get negative 1 over 2. Have you seen? So, negative 1 over 2, that's your answer. So here we've got what? Negative 1 over 2. The partner has been found, negative 1 over 2. So these are the two coordinates now that we found. Hope you were able to see how I was calculating this. So now you just conclude and say, this is what you're going to do. You are going to say, therefore, the coordinates. So you say the coordinates. You say the coordinates of the stationary points. Coordinates of the stationary points. So coordinates of the stationary points are 0, 0 and what? 1, negative 1 over 2. These are coordinates of the stationary points that we found. So this is your answer. That's how you need to answer such a question. That's how you need to calculate such a question. So these are procedures that we need to do. These are some of the things that you need to put into consideration. So we are done with the finding the equation of the normal tangent and stationary points. We move to the other one, which is now, let us now look at integration. Let's look at integration now. Move to now integration. We've got this question. So you are told to evaluate. How can you evaluate this one? So how can you evaluate such a question? So this is what under integration. This is integration. So how are we going to go about this question? This is what we are going to do for us to answer this question. So you need to know the formula that we get to use. So the formula is what? The formula is ax to the power n plus 1 over what? N plus 1. Then you say plus c, like this. This is what we get to use. So this is the formula that we'll be using. Here we say y is equal to. So we use this one when we are not given the limits. But in a case where limits are given, we just need to know this one, like this. This is what we'll be using. So just need to know this one. So once you know this one, then everything becomes simple. Everything will automatically be simple. So this is what you'll be doing. To the power, you just be adding 1. So the same power here comes down. This is what will be happening. So that's what will be happening. So when a number is written as 1, meaning it is having x raised to the power 0. So I'm saying this because I've seen a 1 there. So that is just the same as 1x power 0. So you say that is 1, so x power 0 like that. You say plus 1 over what? 0 plus 1. You continue minus. This is 4x. So it is raised to the power 1. You say plus 1 over what? 1 plus 1. You say plus. This is 3x. Power what? 2. So you just say plus 1 over 2 plus 1. The power is just coming down. I don't know if you've observed what I'm doing. So you just do this. Then these powers, the limits, upper limit is 1. Then the lower limit is negative 1. This is what you need to do. So these are procedures that you now need to do. Just need to understand this one, just like this. So once you understand this, then everything becomes simple. So now you continue. This one here, you're going to have, what are you going to have? What will be your answer? Your answer will be x power what? 1. So we don't show 1. Over 1, we don't show. Minus. Here, 1 plus 1, it is 2. 2 into 4, it is 2x. Power what? Power 2. You say plus. Here, have you seen? So I'm just going direct. Hope you're able to see. You're going to have a 3. 3 into 3, it is 1. So you remain with x. To the power what? Power 3. This is what you're going to remain with. Then the upper limit 1, the lower limit negative 1. This is what we've remained with. Then we just evaluate now. So we start by putting a 1 here. So you put a 1. The 1 is this one. You put a 1. You say where there is x, put a 1. So it's 1 minus 2 multiplied by 1 squared plus 1 cubed. Like this. You do this. Then you say minus. This is part of the formula, minus. Where there is x, put negative 1. So negative 1 minus 2, negative 1 what? Negative 1 squared plus negative 1 cubed. Then you close like this. This is what you are going to do. So where there is x, you put 1. Like I've done here. I had to put 1. Where there is x, put negative 1. This is what you need to do. Here, negative 1. So what is the answer here? This is 1. You are going to get 1 minus, this is 2 plus 1. This is what we are going to have. You say minus, what is here? So that is negative 1. Here you are going to get positive. Have you seen you are going to get positive 1? So times 2, it's negative 2. Here you are going to get what? What are you going to get? Negative 1 times the positive here, so it's negative 1. This is what you're going to get. Negative 3, negative 1 times to the power 3 is negative 1. This is negative 1. The negative here multiplied by the positive, which is here, becomes a negative. This is what you're going to do. So with such now, where you continue and say, this is what you're going to say. You continue and say, here, what is negative 1? What is 1 minus 2? It's negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1, it is 0. So here we just get a what? We just get a 0. Minus, here, negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. So you're going to get what? Negative 4. Negative times negative, it's positive. So that's 0 plus 4. So what will be your answer? Your answer will be a 4. So this is your answer. That's how you need to answer that one. So these are procedures that you need to do. If a question comes in that manner, that's how you need to answer it. That's how we need to work out those questions. So let's make sure we know this way of answering questions. Let's make sure that we understand how everything is happening. So let's get this. Let's make sure that we understand this. Hope you are getting something. Hope you are revising. So this is how you need to work out if a question in that manner comes. Let us now look at another question. So this is the other question that you can find in an exam. So this is another question that you can find in an exam. So with this one now, what we need to do on this one is that the question is saying the gradient function is 2x minus 4. Find its equation if it passes through 2, 1. This is the question. So how can you answer this one? How can you go about this part? How can you go about this one? How can you go about this one? So what you are going to do is this. This is what you are going to do. The gradient function. So gradient function. So meaning that one is dy dx is equal to 2x minus 4. So it is like that. So what do you need to do? You integrate. You need to integrate by using this formula. This is the formula for integration. Like this. N plus 1 then plus c. This is what we are going to do. So we are going to integrate by using this formula. This is the formula that we need to get. So where I say y is equal to, this is the coefficient. So I'll just be getting 2x, there is 1 plus 1. The power comes down, 1 plus 1. I continue minus 4. So it is 4x power 0. So plus 1 over 0 plus 1. Then I say plus what? Plus c. This is what I'm going to do. So this one is just the same as x power 0. So what is happening? This one is just raised to the power at 1. So you're just adding plus 1, the total power comes down. Plus 1, total power comes down. This is what is happening. So then you continue and say y is equal to, this is what? You are going to have a 2 here. And the 2 into 2, it's 1. So just same as x squared minus, here, this is 1. 1 into 4, it is 4. Then x. Then you get plus what? Plus c. This is what you are going to form. So with this now, this is the equation that we found. But in the question, we are not taught to integrate. We are taught to find its equation. So we also need to know the value of c. How can we know the value of c? So how can we know the value of c? You are given a coordinate 2, 1. So this is x, this is y. Where there is x, put 2. Where there is y, put 1. So it's 1 is equal to 2 squared minus 2, 4 times 2 plus c. This is what you are going to do. So this is 1 is equal to. So 1 is equal to what? 1 is equal to what? This is 4. Have you seen that is 4? Minus, here you are going to get 8 plus c. So this is 1 is equal to, 1 is equal to, this is negative what? 4 minus 8, negative 4 plus c. This one goes that side. It's 1 plus 4 is equal to c. So in other words, c is equal to what? 1 plus 4, it's 5. C is what? C is 5. We found c. So what I need to do now, I get the equation. The equation, where is the equation? This is the equation. This is the equation. So I get that. I know c is 5. So I say, therefore, the equation is y is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 5. This is the equation. This is how you need to answer questions under calculus in an exam, just like this. So let's make sure we know this way of answering. We know this procedure of working out questions. So this is where we are going to end. This is lesson 3. I'm yet with lesson 4. So stay connected even as I get to upload lesson 4. Let's revise this together. This was calculus. So if you know someone that wants tuition in mathematics, you can contact me on this number. This is my number. You can contact me on this number. This is my number, also registered on WhatsApp. We can help them. Thank you so much.